So guys, moving the camera down a bit now, we have here The Rapture. A story that's not very good in the Big Finish community or Doctor Who fan community. I kind of like it. It's not great, but you know what? It also introduces a plot element which I'm not going to spoil, that's never really revisited in any Doctor Who canon or nothing. So it's very odd. The Wormery. Kate Manning plays a character that's in love with the Doctor. A bit like River Song, but a million times better, and it's got Colin Baker in. It's a very fun story. The Harvest. That is such a creep story and part of a trilogy. Roof at the End of the Road. I've not heard it yet, but I'm looking forward to it, and it's definitely the same name as the season 1 story, Marco Polo. And I've got this one which I can never pronounce, I'm sorry guys, but I still need to hear it because I'm listening to all the 8th Doctors in order. The Next Life I've not heard yet because it's part of the Divergent trilogy, series which I've not got to yet. Dreamtime, don't bother, it's not a great story guys. Catch 1782, I've heard it's a bit weird, but it's a 6th Doctor Mouse story, so I definitely look forward to hearing it. Three's a Crowd, it's a bit forgettable, I remember hearing it, and it's got Ehrman and Perriam, which is a really cool pairing for a 5th Doctor companion for Big Finish, but it's just not great, but a bit forgettable. Unregenerate, really good story. Mel and the 7th Doctor on top notch. This is set again very early in the 7th Doctor's timeline during season 24. A lot of Mel and the 7th Doctor stories are so, and this is literally set really soon after Time with Rani. Soon we have Thicker and Water. I remember listening to this. It's part of a trilogy after Arrangements for War, which again a fantastic story I've heard, and it's part of it, and it's a very political story. It's not a very alien style story. Very odd one. Live 34, experimental Big Finish at its finest. I really enjoy this one, and the 7th Doctor is told in such a cool way. Scaredy Cat. I remember listening to Scaredy Cat add contents, and that's why I'm listening to all the 8th Doctors in order, because they have more contents with the stories. But when I heard this out, it wasn't fantastic. It was one of my least favourite Paul McGann's, but I'm looking forward to him hearing it again, just see what it's like. Singularity, need to give it a re-listen, but I did enjoy it because Turlough and 5th Doctor are my favourite companion for the 5th Doctor duo. Night Thought, originally meant to be a season 27 story, but it's a very creepy story, and I still need to finish it, to be honest. But yeah, The Kingmaker, sung by Peter Davison, got off eBay. Such a meta story. I love The Kingmaker. Honestly, the more I listen to 5th Doctor Big Finish, the more I love his Doctor, because the story itself is so weird and odd. And just listen to it guys. There was a clip on YouTube where the 5th Doctor gets contacted by this writer's block robot. It's so weird, but it's good. So going even further down now, I have right here The Settling. I know this story is now out of print, but it's a great historical story with the 7th Doctor, Hex and Ace. Some great moments, and it's definitely a top-notch story. Red is a fan favourite for the 7th Doctor and Big Finish, and it's definitely creepy, and I can see why. The Nowhere Place I listened to recently, I picked it up on Amazon for a really good price. It's a good story, really creepy, and E+. Evelyn is one of my favourite 6th Doctor companions and companions in general. I'm not going to complain. The Reaping, a dark story for the Cybermen. Perry returns home, but something is waiting for her, and she's got family issues. Listen to it guys, it's brilliant. The Gathering, I still need to hear just to finish off this trilogy, but I'm looking forward to it. No Man's Land. Now I've heard this, and I was told it's a part of the Forge saga with the Big Finish series, so obviously Project Twilight, Lazarus, Nerva, I think, and No Man's Land is a part of that. After hearing it without this content, I still loved it. It's still got such a creepy element to it, and it's a good story. Nocturne, not a great story, didn't really enjoy it for that much, to be honest. ID, I still need to listen to it, but it was on sale and I thought why the hell not. Exotron, it's a really good story for 5th Doctor. I wish it was 4-part song instead of 3-part song, but we're now heading into a Big Finish where they normally have 3-part stories and 1-part ones. So now we're moving on to Vanilla. So a funny thing about this, Michelle Gomez, as you know, here's a master, or Missy, is in this story. It's very interesting. I've not heard it yet guys, but I'm going to get to it at some point. The Wishing Beast, I remember enjoying it. I don't know, I need to re-listen to it. The Mind's Eye. Obviously I've been told very good things about it because I bought a big 5th Doctor bundle, and I'm looking forward to it. The Girl Who Never Was. Again, I must have the 8th Doctor made me just forget to this one, but it's a Cyberman. It's Charlie Pollard's last story before she joins the 6th Doctor. I can't wait. The Bride of Peladon, another Peladon story. I really like Peladon stories, not gonna lie. The Curse of Peladon is a good one, and the Monster of Peladon isn't as good, I think, personally, just because it's a bit too long, but I don't know. And then The Haunting of Thomas Brewster. Thomas Brewster is such a character in this. It's obviously set before The Boy That Never Was, and obviously set straight after, which I'm about to go to, but it's a good story. We're almost at the end of this shelf. The Boy That Forgot Time. I remember listening to it and thinking, damn, it's a good story. And then now I'm thinking back, it's odd because a lot of the choices they make are very weird to the contents of the story, because they bring back a certain character without the actor, and you kind of question it. Time Reef is again another one of the 3-part stories. I enjoyed it, and it's a continuation, and just seeing the 5th Doctor grumpy is pretty funny, not gonna lie. The Rain Cloud Man is what the 6th Doctor and Charlie Pollard series, which I'm looking forward to hearing this pairing. Now this is the Key to Time trilogy right here, so the Judgment of Iskar, Return of the Ice Warriors, the Destroyers of Delights, and part after that we have the Chaos Pool. Now Amy is actually the detective for the Key to Time this time, not something from the Key to Time series in season 16, and she's a good character, and she's even got her own spin-off of Big Finish, which I've not heard, but maybe I'll check out one day if it's ever on sale. So next I've got Castle of Fear. This is the Stockwell trilogy. Now Castle of Fear brings back a classic villain in a way you wouldn't normally expect. I do think it's a good story, and it's very much like Monty Python, but something's missing. The Eternal Summer, I listened to this all through the night. I fucking love this story, sorry for my language right there. The Eternal Summer is a great story, lots of twists and turns, and it will really keep you going on. Plague of the Daleks is the last part of the trilogy, and I still need to hear this one, but I'm looking forward to it. Now I've got the 7th Doctor and Kind trilogy, so I've got 1,000 Tiny Wings. There's a lot of contents with that character, and I feel like I need to listen to other things before going to this trilogy, so please excuse why I haven't got as much to say, but obviously I've got right here Survival of the Fittest, which reminds me of Survival for some reason, and Archaeologists of History, and obviously right here I've got the Cradle of the Snake, which is Return of the Mara. I started listening to it, it was fine, not the best story I've heard, but it was fine. And then I've got Robophobia, which is a part of another trilogy, but listening to it, you can kind of get behind it, and just, it's a nice single listen, I suppose. And then straight after, I've got The Silver Turk, which was a great story, because we're now on to a Mary Shelley trilogy. And straight after that, I've got The Witch from the Well, which again part of the Mary Shelley trilogy, which introduces a great character, and also the damn writer of Frankenstein. I know, the Doctor was the inspiration, isn't it brilliant? And now I've got a random 11th Doctor Ring of Steel CD there, don't ask why. And last but not least, right here guys on the bottom shelf, so under here I've got the Monster of Gathrock, the new part of the trilogy with Mags and the 7th Doctor. I've got Aria Death, the concluding story to the Mary Shelley trilogy. And straight after that, I've got 1933 Commonwealth of Common Men, which is a very good story, I must say. And straight after that, I have got Revenge of the Swarm. Mistfall, again, which is a part of the 5th Doctor trilogy, which was on sale recently. And this is Equilium. And then I've got the Entropy Plague, which I still need to hear. Straight after that, I've got the Deflectors, the Secret History, which is part of the Doctor Companion Switching trilogy. I'm not going to spoil who the creature is or the monster to tell a lie. The one I need after that is the Last of the Cybermen, which is a very good story, which I've still heard. And I've got here We Are the Daleks. Great story, and with Mal it's definitely up there. I've got Aquarium, which is a really good story. I've got The Memory Bank, I've got the War to Peterloo Massacre, which is a really cool historical for 5th Doctor, because the 5th Doctor in historical situations works really well. Straight here, I've got Zotius, which is kind of, I'm sorry I mispronounced that terribly, but it's kind of a sequel to State of Decay, which is really cool. I've got Order of the Daleks, a Constantine. Now, I think it's Flip or Constantine, the 6th Doctor. I need to hear more of that character, but I do enjoy it. I've got Technophobia with the 10th Doctor and Donna. I remember having downloads to this, and I loved it. So, re-listening to it, it's definitely a great story for the actual 10th Doctor. And I've got Vortex Ice and Cortex Fire with Flip herself. So, guys, that is the end of that shelf.